posting Instagram stunts where he would take unholy amounts of edibles on camera.
Nah, I'm telling y'all, I do not do edibles. This is insane, bro. 5,000 milligrams is insane, bro. The influencer who smoked himself into psychosis from Adrian Flacco. Now, smoked himself. What, I don't know. What is this talking about? Is this talking about like? Oh, it's about weed. Ooh. That's not good, bro. I have never, like, I've gotten so high where I've greened out before. That is for sure a thing I've done. You know what I mean? Greening out is basically like when you get too drunk and you throw up. It's basically the same thing, but when you get high. Happens commonly when you take edibles, bro. Every fucking time I take edibles. I don't like taking edibles, bro. I hate edibles. I might smoke a blunt. You know what I mean? I might, but that's it though. You know what I mean? Might hit the dab pen. But, you know, after that, that's it. You know what I mean? But you got so high that you fell into psychosis is insane, bro. That shit has never happened to me, bro. You know what I mean? But that's insane, bro. Let's see.
Blazing the Asian is a YouTuber known for his cannabis review challenges where he pays people $100.
Yeah, I've watched these kind of YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? I used to, yeah. I mean, not as much. Not because I don't really like these videos, but just because, like, I just don't really care to, like, you know what I mean? But it's just like, nah, bro. Hey, he gets high for a living. That's a W fucking thing, bro.
They can hit a blinker. Christopher Kim created a lifestyle centered around THC consumption that would ultimately fracture his mental state. On several occasions, Chris would have psychotic episodes that landed him in the psych ward.
That shit ain't never, nah, bro. That weed ain't never did no shit like that to me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've gotten high. I've greened out. I've thrown up. I've passed out. I've definitely done that. But, like, I've never gone into psychosis, right? Like, you know what I mean? It is a symptom if you get too high where, like, you can panic a little bit because you're so high and you're freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh. I understand that. Like, I guess it's technically greening out, but it's like, it's never, like, you just got to be careful with how much you consume. Too much of anything can kill you. You know what I mean? With weed, it's really hard to do that. It's impossible to die from smoking weed. It's literally impossible. There's never been a case, but let's go.
During his episodes, Chris would steal cop cars, threaten pedestrians, and get arrested for lewd behavior. Losing his grip on reality caused him to spiral out of control and sent the internet on a frenzy. People were saying his psychotic episodes were caused by some genetic predisposition. He would later dispute these claims when he went on the Goblin podcast in 2025. Chris stated his mental episodes were 100% caused by heavy cannabis use. Since 2018, Blazing the Asian has been posting Instagram stunts where he would take unholy amounts of edibles on camera.
Nah, I'm telling y'all, I do not do edibles. This is insane, bro. 5,000 milligrams is insane, bro.
It wasn't uncommon for Chris to take extremely high doses of THC. He would consume 3,000 milligram THC gummy bears in one sitting, drink 5,000 milligrams of THC juice along with a few bong rips. The recommended dose is 100 milligrams to 250. Bro was taking
Nah, there's niggas that can't even handle 20. I think the most I ever did was like 75, 100, no more than that. But, like, bro, edibles, bro, like, you know, it could have been way more than that, honestly. I don't even know. I don't even count, to be honest, bro. But, like, you just got to be careful with edibles because you'll take an edible. It'll be like 45 minutes, an hour. You don't really feel, you're high, but you're not too high. And then you take it again. That's where you fucked up.
The whole packet, hitting blinkers, doing bong rips. Essentially, he was frying his brain for our entertainment. This would catch up to him later in 2020. Chris reflected on his drug use, telling Goblin, "I started tripping at 14, taking LSD at
LSD, what the fuck? That's why.
School and smoking salvia.
We don't do that shit to you.
Getting arrested at school for selling LSD to a classmate. He was throwing chairs at teachers because he himself was still coming down from an acid trip. 1 year later, while on acid, he punched a stranger in public because he thought they were in the Truman Show, believing everyone was an actor on a TV show that he didn't know about. After several bad acid trips, Chris decided to quit taking psychedelics and focus on making weed content.
Nah. Yeah, just stop taking acid, bro. Why are you taking acid? Shrooms is different. Shrooms is actually cool. You just gotta, too much of anything can kill you, bro. Like, you just gotta be careful with what you're taking. Just be careful, bro. That's it, bro. Like,
During this time,
you
Chris
think it
would
was just
sell
being
pounds
dumb.
of marijuana at Rutgers University to fund his Instagram page. Becoming the plug for college students would be very profitable. He
Yeah.
even went so
And illegal as fuck, but
far as to buy $20,000 worth of ZA from California plugs to sell on campus.
Not
Chris
surprised.
entered a group chat with 9,000 other students who wanted to buy substances. The thing is, he used his full government ID, picture, and was not being anonymous whatsoever. Chris became extremely paranoid after discovering an undercover cop outside of the frat house he was staying at. He locked himself inside the frat house, not eating or sleeping for 6 days straight. Chris was fully convinced people were lacing his food and water with acid. Not only that, he lost $80,000 in one night by gambling and was beginning to go into a manic episode. His fraternity brothers eventually called his parents.
Nah, that's acid. I was about to say, weed don't do that shit to you, bro. And you gonna make weed illegal again, bro. Don't fucking do that. I mean, like, come on, bro.
Because he was losing his grip on reality. Chris was taken into psychiatric care because he was extremely paranoid and having grand delusions.
At that point, I thought everyone was actors. Because I was like, no way people are like this in real life. I had a theory that I was
stupid, bro.
Everyone was an actor.
You're on a set right now.
Everyone was like a set, like the Truman Show. Everything was like everyone was like a New York City crackhead. I thought the TV was talking about me, the news was talking about me. So I went up to the 10th floor of my house. I was like gonna jump off.
Oh shit!
Head first. In my mind, I didn't see EMT or police anywhere, and like I got pulled back the same moment I decided to jump off. Once the first psychosis episode starts,
fuck?
it won't stop unless I quit weed for a year. That was the pattern that happened.
After this incident, Chris was going in and out of the psych ward for about 6 months because every time he did a bong rip, he would slip into another psychotic episode. In January of 2021,
nah, bro, that shit fucked up his brain. That acid fucked up his brain.
He had stolen an unmarked police car in Staten Island because...
And by the way, not everybody can smoke weed. Not everybody can get high. Just how not everybody can drink alcohol. Like, sometimes some shit is just not meant for you, bro. And him taking so much at such a young age, yeah, look, I'm not against smoking weed, but you have to be like legal age, bro. You cannot be underage doing that shit. That shit does fry your brain. You know what I mean? You're still developing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
He always wanted to be a cop. Chris's psychiatrist scanned him for a genetic predisposition of mental illness. He concluded that Chris kept having psychotic episodes because he's been smoking weed 24/7 since the age of 14. Chris decided to take a year-long break from drugs and alcohol. During his recovery, he was unable to socialize with people and began isolating in his parents' basement. Eventually, Chris invested his trap money into content creation by starting to post blinker challenges, collabing with rappers, and uploading vlogs on YouTube. Due to the nature of his content, Chris started consuming cannabis once again. Since he was taking medication for his previous psychotic episodes, the ZA didn't affect him as much, but he kept on smoking more and more until he eventually slipped into another psychosis.
Nah, bro, he just needs to stop getting so fucking high, bro.
In the beginning of 2025, Chris started posting
this is beyond weed
messages on social media, rambling on Instagram Live, and having a mental breakdown on camera. Fans were concerned for his mental well-being because he seemed completely out of it. 10 minutes after leaving the psych ward, Chris went on Instagram Live and started harassing a man on the street.
Cool, bro. I'm cool. You cool? Bro, back up, bro. You cool? You playing with me? I'm not playing with you. Alright, back up, bro. I know people who know you, bro. I'm not playing with you. Alright, so can you back up, bro? What you gonna do? What? What you gonna do? Just right.
Nah.
You done? No, I'm just kidding. Alright, bro. Back up, bro. I'm just kidding. Bro. Oh, my bad. For real, bro.
Niggas like, get the fuck away from me, bro. Like, I'm dead ass. Leave me alone, bro. I'm trying to walk home.
My bad. No, my bad. I just got out of the hospital, bro.
The man pulled a gun on Chris, but he kept following him.
What? See what?
You got scared right there.
See what? I got scared?
Bro, come on, bro.
I got scared? You're being live streamed.
You doing that because you're here.
You being scared? I'm doing that because I'm here? You don't know who I know. You terrified, right? You terrified, right? I'm falling into your car.
That's embarrassing, bro.
It's embarrassing?
For you, bro.
For me?
That's when you just gotta let a shot up in the air, bro. Just shoot one in the air, bro. That gonna end that shit quickly. Just shoot that.
You try to act like you have a strap. You don't got straps. I got straps. Come to my car right now. Come to my car right now.
Are you scared? Come to my car right now. Let's go. We're in live stream. Don't be a bitch. My bad, guys. I can't get mad like that. It's like they told me I don't have to go to any meetings anymore at the hospital, and then I'm good.
This nigga immediately went out and nah, bruh. His mental's cooked, bruh. I got high when I was young. I'm not gonna lie, when I was underage. You know what I'm saying? But I never like took it that far where you're taking, you know. And there's people who I've watched who've done that, and they're still fine. They, you know what I mean? Like, but like, I don't know, bruh. But they don't, you know, like it's just weird. Like, it's just like some people can handle shit and some people just fucking can't. And this nigga might genuinely have a mental illness, and it gets exemplified when he takes a drug. And I think that's what happens, bro. There's no way.
So it's optional now.
There's no way.
It was evident that Chris was still having a psychotic episode even though he was cleared to leave the hospital.
He was
Not so long
sober.
after, Chris hopped on Instagram Live once again, where he decided to smoke more weed on camera. It was pretty disturbing to watch because he kept singing Bruno Mars songs, random songs, telling everyone that I'm gonna be the next Nelk boy, rambling
Nigga boy.
on and on, saying the N-word over and over again.
Oh, brother.
Talking to police like very incoherently. It was very disturbing to watch because he was literally losing his grip on reality. His demeanor can be compared to Steve-O when he was at the depths of his drug binge. Eventually, Chris's girlfriend called the police because he was at her apartment tweaking out. They asked him a few questions before once again taking him to the psych ward. Blazin the Asian is a prime example of weed-induced psychosis. Not many people believe this actually exists because people assume that, oh, you must have some genetic predisposition or someone in your family has mental illness. No, anybody can go into a weed-induced psychosis.
What the
People
fuck?
are gonna say, bro, I've been smoking weed since kindergarten, I'm fine, but everybody reacts differently to certain.
I think that's just what it is. Everybody just reacts differently. That like not everybody can get high, like the way that guy was able to. I've seen people who did just as much and they're still fine to this day. Like there's no, you know what I mean. The thing is that he did when he was young too. When he was like 14, when he was just like, you know what I mean. But I don't know, bro. I don't.
Substances. Chris explained that when he first started smoking, he would always get extremely paranoid but kept smoking until he enjoyed it. Starting daily use at age 14 when his brain isn't fully developed.
Yeah, that's
definitely
exactly
played
what
a
I
role in
said.
his future psychotic episodes.
Fuck yeah.
Combine the stress of dealing pounds of drugs along with schoolwork, content creation, and relationships. It was only a matter of time before he snapped. Chris reflected on his experiences, saying he's going on another year-long tolerance break, only this time he's not in a hurry to smoke weed again because it doesn't seem necessary. Blazin the Asian plans on doing more gym content, rap videos, and vlogs in the near future.
Okay.
He's reposting old content since he deleted all his videos. In the end, this was a tale of a man who smoked himself into psychosis and lived to tell his story. If you enjoyed this video or have some...
Nah, bruh. Nah. I'm pretty sure that's probably like a side effect from smoking weed. Like, I mean, here's the thing though. I'm not high 24/7 though, too. Like, I have to go to work. You know what I mean? And I have to focus on YouTube, so I can't get too high. Even when I get too high, it's not like a 24/7 thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes I wake up and I just don't smoke until like the evening. Like, it just happens, bro. Like, I'm just not like, you know what I mean? But I just don't get high to the point where it's like I can't function. I'm just careful with how much I smoke. And you just got to be careful with whatever you take, whatever you drink, whatever it is, bro. You just got to be careful, limit it, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Well, know when's a good or a bad time to be on it, and just have some integrity with that kind of shit. But like him being surrounded by it all the time, him having to sell because of stressors in his life, it probably did push it. You know what I mean? Everybody reacts differently, but you know, he probably has family members that are disappointed in him too. Like, think about that too. Like, you know, some parents are like that, where they see that you're doing drugs, they don't, you know, really fuck with that. They kind of put you down for it, you know, and you kind of separated from everybody and you kind of feel alone. And I feel like that's kind of what happened to this nigga, bro. Like, I feel like just adding of everything just really fucked with his mental. But I've definitely, you know, like, I've definitely greened out. You know, I've definitely gotten too high to the point where I've started getting paranoid. But that's when I stopped smoking and I went to sleep and I woke up and I was fine. And I just chilled out for a little bit, not, you know, and I just limited it. I'm just careful with that. I just, you know what I mean? Like, and you know what I mean? But him making content, having to get high like that 24/7, that shit definitely fucked up his brain though. Like, I think that's just what it is. Too much of anything can kill you. It could fuck with you. Doesn't matter. People, yeah, I am a, you know, a pothead. I smoke weed all the time, but you know, like, you know, it's not something you should take advantage of. You shouldn't be driving high. You shouldn't be doing that, especially, you know. But I don't know, man. But I hope you have a good breakfast, a good dinner, good night, man. What are y'all experiences with weed, bruh? Have you ever dealt with anything like this? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments down below. I fucking love y'all, man. Peace.